Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Queen Speaks, representing all the queens out there who has something to say. Me personally, I'm coming from the perspective of a woman over 50, right? A black person in America, right? An American, African American. So, yeah, I love this hoodie. It comes off in the middle of the day. I live in the high desert, what they call the high desert, right? So, what does that mean? That means that the mountains are right there. The mountains are right there, but it's still the desert, right? So, it's freezing in the morning, freezing at night, but in the middle of the day, you might have to turn the AC on because it'll go from like 27 degrees to literally like 75. And 75 in the hot New Mexico sun is like 89 somewhere else. Okay. So many days we turn on the heat and then we had to turn on the AC. So anyway, I wanted to talk about, a couple things that I've seen on YouTube. One in particular. It said at first, because the title has been changed. And I've been noticing that a lot of you guys who, have a lot of followers, you do sometimes, like, after a couple weeks change your title. And I guess it helps to get more viewers. It has more keywords in it or something. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what it is, right? But the original title said, I'm bored of this black and white thing. Okay, yeah. Well, I wasn't really in the mood to really hear what that was all about, so I didn't watch it. So a couple weeks later, the title of that same video, which I didn't know it was the same video, was completely changed. I have to say, honestly, listen to the whole entire video. I did listen to almost half. I did not listen to the whole entire video when I realized that it was the same video, because the person in the video mentioned the original title. So I was like, okay, that's where I am. I'm on the video that I really didn't care to watch. But the new title was like as different as the East Coast is from the West Coast, and I've lived on both. Okay? The new title was as different as the East Coast is from the West Coast, right? I'm from the East Coast originally, but I've lived on both coasts, right? So I listened, and, we all, depending on who we are, right? Our backgrounds, our history, our heritage, our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, grandfathers, all of that, right, is different for everybody. So we might have some similar stories, but it's still different, you know. So, I'm smart enough to know and understand that people come from different perspectives. You know, that's not a surprise to me at all, you know. So some of you out there are bored. Now, bored and tired are two different things, right? Those words are not interchangeable. When you're tired of something, which I am tired of a whole lot of things, tired, right, of dealing with this whole black and white thing in America. Tired. 54 years and I'm tired. Tired. I don't want to have to concentrate. I don't want on that particular thing, right? That black and white thing. I don't want to have to listen. I have a life. I'm creative. I'm smart. I do things. I create things. I've done a lot of things up to this point that I've retired from. Some I didn't care for, but I excelled, succeeded. Some things, some careers I enjoyed. So tired, right? I don't enjoy focusing on race. I'm tired. I do not enjoy hearing the stories, the news stories. I don't even watch the news. And of course, there's social media. You're gonna tune into something, right? That's going to give you a level of news at, especially if that news is deemed to be important. During the course of the day, the week, you're going to find it. Even if you just Googling something else, even if Google just brings it to you. So I'm tired of hearing the stories. I'm tired of black men being dealt with in an extremely different manner than people who are not of color. I'm tired of hearing over all the years of the unnecessary deaths and murders, right? I'm so tired of it. But am I bored? No, I'm not bored. When you're bored of something, it means that this again. It is a sense of being complacent, Uh, it's a sense of apathy, you know. Like, how you just feel sometimes like, oh, I don't know what I want to do today, don't feel like cleaning, did that yesterday. Don't feel like writing, did that yesterday. Don't really have the energy for it. I'm just bored. Just bored. I don't know where it comes from. I just don't feel like doing shit. I'm bored. Bored and tired are not the same thing. So I'm here to say I'm tired. I'm tired of having to deal with this black and white thing, right? Tired of writing poetry about it, tired of speaking about it, tired of trying to teach people, educate people, enlighten people. I'm tired because I spent a lot of time doing that. My mom was an activist before she had me. And then she said, I got to do this in a different way because now I have a child that I need to help nurture and grow and keep alive. Right. So, it's in my blood to care, to give a damn, right? To pay attention, to think about other people's situations that may not be as privileged as mine. So I'm in New Mexico, the land of, Mexicans, people of all different types of Hispanic origin, and of course our indigenous people, the Native American culture, various tribes, of which I've had the pleasure of meeting some Native American people. Uh, so my color here, even though I am a serious minority as an African American, as a black person in New Mexico, if you just look up the stats, I'm a serious minority, right? There's like 2%, if that, literally. But my color does not disturb people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody pays attention to me in Walmart. I'm not an organ. Excuse me. Nobody looks at me strangely. Nobody pays any attention to me, unless they want to chit chat, ask a question, see what's in my cart, talk about how good the ice cream looks. They might get some too, laugh with me in the line because it's so long, right? But nobody pays any attention to this. This is not disturbing to anybody. So I personally do not have to deal with, stares or looks or being judged as a person that might steal. I'm not followed through the store. I'm not, none of that. None of that. But do I think that doesn't still go on just because that's not my experience? Do I think that black people don't experience just random everyday racism just because it's right now not my experience? So I grew up in Philly, right, in a big city. There's prejudice areas, right, little segments of any city, okay, but it's not overt, because Philadelphia, no matter how many white people are there, is basically a black city. You see what I'm saying? So black people walk around with a sense of power. So I did experience that in Philadelphia. Nobody, I mean, when I would go into so-called white neighborhoods to shop or whatever, nobody paid me any attention at all. But do I think that because that was my experience, that all the rest of this country is just like that there aren't black people who still experience the looks, the stares, the words, the mumbles underneath the breath, right? The cops pulling them over just because they can. Do I think that just because I'm privileged, that all black people are living that way now because it's 2021? Hell no, I don't think that. Because it's not true. Now, I've seen a lot of this, and let me tell you something. There's not many subject matters spiritually, right, metaphysically, that you can bring up that I haven't meditated in, researched, read, taken my time to absorb to see whether or not it feels like truth to me. There's not many things you're going to bring up that I have not given time, thought, meditation, prayer, research to. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of this. I'm creating my own world sort of scenario, right? I'm creating my own world. So in my world, Everything is cool. Okay. I understand that new age type of thinking, but how can you, as a black person in America, forget what people are suffering through? I mean, is that how you make it all better? I mean, listen, I understand that basically the only thing that I have control over is my world, right? The only thing I really can change and shift immediately, right, is my circle. I understand that. I do not think that it is my job, right? My big purpose, like I have some special purpose to heal the world. No, I understand that what I have immediate control over is the world that I exist in, the people that I interact with. My choices are what I have control over. But does that mean that I forget that people need me? That people need me to have a voice? People need me to speak up? People need me sometimes to write about it and express what they are going through? I can't forget that. And I'm not going to pretend, listen, I've been through the new age school. Okay? I've been through the new age school. And the pretending part, let's pretend until it all becomes true. If I could just think it, it can be. I've been through all that, and it did not work for me. And the one form of spirituality, not religion, the one form of spirituality that has stuck with me throughout the years is Buddhism. Because I was taught a few things by my Buddhist mentor. Is that if you try it, no matter what anyone says, she used to say, no matter what I say works for me, if you try it and it doesn't work for you, leave it. So that I'm going to pretend, imagine, send out vibes type of shit, that didn't work for me. It didn't work for me because I am a woman, a person, a human that came here designed in a way that I like to see real things occur in front of me that form from real actions. So if somebody comes to me and they're in need, if I can do it, then I'm going to help them take care of it. Because later on I can see, okay, you got your electric back on. I was able to assist you with that. I can see it, the reality of it. But the whole, let me just pretend that everything is cool, copacetic, right? Until it just ripples all the way out. Doesn't work for me. Now, I'm not saying that it shouldn't work for you, but what I'm saying is, from my perspective, if you're watching anything that I film, it doesn't work for me. I like real shit, right? So, you being bored with the black and white thing, I don't understand the mechanics, right, of that, but fine. But I'm saying that I'm not bored. I'm tired. I'm very tired, but I'm going to give you an example of how that statement, right? How that statement, you see that white moth keeps circling around me? Just pay attention. I'm going to give you an example. I have an acquaintance around my age. I'm 54. I have an acquaintance around my age who his grandmother just passed away this year. His grandmother. His mother also passed away this year, but she was ill. Okay. There's longevity in his family, right? So unfortunately this year, a lot of grief. His grandmother passed away. His mother passed away. Now his grandmother was about literally 104, if not more. I met his grandmother. And at that time, she was almost 100. And this was years ago. So imagine him, who is a privileged black man, who is educated, did very well in his education, has a great career, makes good money, lives a pretty peaceful life, has a beautiful home, travels the world. Imagine him, and who grew up also well and privileged, right? Imagine him going to his 104-year-old grandmother saying, I'm bored with this black and white thing. Someone who's lived 104 years as a black woman in America and was able to succeed and create a great life. Think that was easy? Imagine him saying that to her before she passed away at 104. She might say, well, I'm tired, but I'm not bored. Because here she is at 104 and shit's still a mess. How much do you think that would diminish her experiences? Diminish the power of the racism that she probably experienced in her lifetime to get where she was? How much do you think that would have diminished the power of the pain, the shame, the confusion, the hurt, the walls that were built up to keep her from succeeding? How much do you think that would have diminished that? Her experience. So, I don't want to be on here long. I just want to say that bored and tired are two different things. They are not interchangeable. And I'm not going to assume that you think they're interchangeable. I'm not the only smart person here. I know that some of y'all know exactly what you're saying. But I'm here to come from my perspective, not yours. Unless, of course, you have a similar experience of life, a similar experience of what you've seen happen, what you see happen. And the fact that, some of y'all, are thinking that George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and are random, just random acts of violence. Just random. But, most of us can walk around without getting shot. Most of us can go to sleep at night and not have our doors busted down at midnight. Most of us can be in a store or be confronted by the police and not have a knee on our fucking necks. So it's okay. Because most of us don't experience that. So it's okay. That's okay. We need what? A bunch of George Floyds? a bunch of Ahmaud Arbery's. We need a bunch of Breonna Taylors. We just need them strewn across the whole entire country for you not to be bored. So, this will be another video that YouTube will ignore. And this will be another video that most of y'all will ignore, but I got it out. So, again, I'm outside filming this, so you'll hear noises. But anyway, I'm done. I'm done. Bored, tired. You're bored? Bored of the black and white thing? I'm tired. I'm tired of the black and white thing. See y'all.